to the Unleash Success podcast, where we break down the secrets of success to give you real tools and strategies that get real results. And now, here's your host, Corey Corpodian.
This is Corey Corpodian. Welcome back to Unleash Success. If you guys haven't subscribed to our newsletter yet, be sure to go to unleashsuccess.com and just enter your email so you can get all the tools and strategies sent directly to you each and every week. Today we're going to go over 5 steps to success. And as June ends, I realize we are halfway through the year. You know, a lot of people, myself included, set goals 6 months ago on New Year's Eve or New Year's Day as a resolution. Maybe you wanted to lose that 10 pounds once and for all. Maybe you wanted to start your own business. Maybe you wanted to create an extra stream of income or supplement your income or earn more. Or maybe you just wanted to enjoy life more. Maybe find that relationship you wanted. How'd it go though? You know, some of us might have made some progress, but maybe we haven't been as diligent as we should have been and haven't gotten as far as we really wanted to go. Or maybe some of us, well, the majority of people, as studies show, often give up after about 4 to 6 weeks. And those goals, those dreams, those wishes and aspirations are all but forgotten. Well, you're in luck because there's still time. You know, there's still a whole 6 months left in the year. Go revisit those goals. Go look at them. See what is still relevant in your life. See what's still important in your life. And see if you want to make that goal a reality. With so much time left, if you start now, in 6 months, instead of saying, I wish, you'll say, I'm glad I did it. And you'll be that much further ahead if you didn't start at all. You know, over the course of the last year, I've been incredibly lucky to interview some of the most amazing people from all different walks of life with success in so many different areas. You know, people like Tom McElroy from Volcom, who, you know, designed the iconic Volcom logo, to guys like Ryan Hudson Peralta, who was born with no arms and legs, to Alexa Carlin, who is the CEO and founder of Women Empower Expo, empowering thousands of women at each of her events. You know, I'm just so fortunate that I've had this opportunity, but I've realized that there's some certain steps to success that some of these people follow. And through these interviews, you know, with the guys like FBI hostage negotiator Chris Voss, and learn how to negotiate, for crying out loud, in a hostage situation, as opposed to even maybe, like he used, a credit card example. And I've seen that in my own life experiences and in these interviews, there's certain steps to success. You know, these people follow a certain pattern, you could say, that really allows them to be so successful. While there might be some exceptions to these rules, I have yet to see anybody who has had really great, consistent success in life without following something similar to these steps. And so to start us off, now there's 5 steps that I've kind of defined here. And to really start us off on the right foot, this is the most important thing that I have seen from everyone who has really achieved success. You've got to define what success is for you. You know, let me make this very, very clear. Anybody who has achieved a lot of success had that image burned into their mind day in and day out. But a common mistake is creating an image that is so vague. People just aren't very clear on what it is they want exactly. You know, I used to say myself that I wanted more, or I wanted to be rich, or even I just want to be happy. But I had no real definition for what those terms meant. I mean, more always means more, and that is not a good way to define success because you'll never really achieve it. Rich, what does rich mean? Do you need $10,000, $100,000, $100 million? What does it mean to you? Happiness even. You know, I struggled with finding happiness because I kept looking forward to everywhere I gotta have happiness, and I never really defined what it would take for me to feel happy. And once I did that, once I understood what made me tick, what really made me excited about life, I started experiencing more happiness than ever before. Now that I knew my own set of rules, I knew how I defined happiness, I was able to say, hey, I can cultivate this, I can create this. And so I started pushing for things and creating things in my life that, in essence, made me happy. But it wasn't until I clearly defined it. The same thing with success, guys. I mean, let's put it this way. If you don't clearly define what success is for you, you might be chasing success for your entire life. So there is so much power in being very clear so that when you actually achieve that goal, you feel successful. So if being successful to you is having a six-figure income, right? Is that a clear goal? Kind of. I mean, it definitely says you want six figures, which is $100,000 or more. And that could be $101,000 or it could be $999,000. But there's a very big difference in your quality of life when you have almost $1 million to just over $100,000. So be very clear in exactly what your goal is. When you're going after success, don't just think about money. Think about time too. How much time do you want to have? How much freedom do you want to have? How much flexibility? Do you want to be stuck in an office job 9 to 5 every single day? Or do you want to have the freedom to travel? These are things that you've got to be very clear on what it is you want. All right, what goal you're going after, what success means to you, because when you know exactly what you want, you're able to create a precise strategy to get you there. If you don't know what it is that you want, if you say, I just want to be rich, you might end up working 3 jobs at McDonald's, Target, and Walmart, doing the night yard shift and dying inside because you have no passion, but you've got some money. See, that's the difference between really defining your success and just vaguely wishing for success. The other thing about when you define your success that sometimes people struggle with, they tell you to be realistic. And I'm going to go against the grain on this one. I think being too realistic is going to lead you to mediocrity. I mean, I say dream big. I say shoot for the stars. I think that life is made for us to be able to challenge ourselves, to get outside of our comfort zone, to really see what we have inside of us, to explore our entire potential. And let me tell you something, when we get to step number 5, you're going to realize that your potential is limitless. There is absolutely nothing you can't do in this world. The only thing that stops us is us. So, dream big, get really clear on what it means for you to have success. And step number 2 is you got to get laser focused. You've got to get so focused on that one thing that you are going to master it, that you are going to become an expert in it, that you are going to become the best there ever will be, the best there ever was. Now, I'm not saying you got to give up everything, but there's a fact of life that in order to get better at something, you've got to dedicate more energy and effort and attention, which means sacrifice. Now, I'm not saying that you got to sacrifice your entire life, but to become great, to really become successful in an area of life, it means you're going to have to sacrifice other areas of life for a period of time. Naturally, as you get better in one thing, something is going to have to give. So those things might suffer a little bit, and the thing you're working on, though, is going to improve. And how do you figure this out? You got to prioritize. You got to be willing to give up something in order to get something else. And so what are you willing to sacrifice? Are you going to be so focused on your goal, whether it's to lose 10 pounds and have the best body you've ever wanted, or whether it's to start a business, or whether it's to make 6 figures this year? What are you going to do? What are you going to sacrifice? Are you going to be so laser focused on taking action, on creating the life of your dreams, on creating that success that you just defined? Are you going to finally live up to your full potential? And if you are that focused, are you willing to sacrifice weekends going out with friends? Are you willing to sacrifice vacations so that you can save a little extra money and invest that money? Are you willing to put in the work that it's going to take to reach that success? And that leads us to step number 3. You got to work hard. There's just zero substitute for hard work. If you think you've got talent, there's somebody out there that has more talent and is working harder than you right now. And I equate it to this. If you feel overwhelmed by how much work there is, I get this all the time. I set this huge goal. I dream so big where I'm like, I want to write a book, for crying out loud. I've written essays. I've never written a book before. And it's such a big goal that there's so many small steps in between that it can become overwhelming. In that time, I always think to myself, brick by brick. The Great Wall of China was not built in a day. Rome was not built in a day. They were all built brick by brick. And so when I think about what needs to be done, whether it's writing a book, whether it's, writing a chapter or writing even a sentence in a paragraph, I think, all right, one word at a time, one sentence at a time, one paragraph at a time, one chapter at a time. Finally, the book is done. Going to the gym, working out, one workout at a time, one lift at a time, one rep at a time. When you are so intensely focused, when you are laser focused and you do one step at a time, those steps compound on themselves. The intensity that you put in each effort, each rep, each step in the process compounds on itself until eventually you have built this incredible house. You've put the foundation in, you've built this amazing house, and you have worked your ass off to earn that success. You see, there is no substitute for hard work, but if you get overwhelmed by it, always go back to the basics, brick by brick. So step 4 is when you're feeling overwhelmed by how much you have to do, by how much you have to work, and you know what, you've been working really, really, really hard, you got to remember, believe in yourself. And I don't mean this in, all right, believe that you're going to make $1 million this year and not work hard for it type of belief. And, maybe you will. Maybe you'll buy a lottery ticket and get lucky. But I always believe, this is my belief, that if you believe something strongly enough and you back it up by actual action, you take the steps necessary to get your dreams, eventually it will pan out for you. So there's a couple things that I want to talk to you about believing in yourself. There are these meta programs that we run in the back of our head, and you might be doing this right now when you're trying something new, when you're getting outside your comfort zone, and people are starting to talk about it. They're starting to say stuff to you. Some things that people might say are, are you sure you really want to work that hard? Are you sure you want to go to the gym that much? Are you sure you want to spend that much time away from your friends and family to build this business that is of your dreams? And they start to question it. And if you let these questioning create self-doubt inside yourself, this means that you often have a external frame of reference. So sometimes people have an internal frame of reference and other times people have an external frame of reference. And we all kind of go back and forth between these two. But what I'm going to explain is basically when you let other people's voices get inside your head to create self-doubt in your dreams, it paralyzes you. And so when you're starting to set these huge goals, they might even do it out of love. They don't want to see you fail. They don't want to see you get hurt. So they say, you know what? Do you really want to try that? And in these times, you've got to switch to an internal frame of reference. That is the biggest thing that I can tell you that will lead you on the path to success, is to make sure you're listening to yourself and believe in yourself. When you say, I want something so badly that I'm willing to do whatever it takes to get it, that I'm willing to sacrifice all these things that might give short-term happiness, but long-term pain because I'm never going to realize my dreams, that's when you want to switch to, all right, I got to stay focused, get laser focused. I got to put the work in, and I got to believe in myself, because guess what? You're going to fail. You're going to question yourself. Other people are going to start to hate on you, especially if you get some success, especially if you're not spending time with them, especially if you're doing better than them. So remember this, whatever it is you want, whatever it is you believe about yourself, listen to your voice, stay true to yourself. Don't let the doubters, don't let the haters get you down to question your own ability. Now, speaking about your own ability, we mentioned this a little bit before, talking about in step 5, we're going to show you how your potential is nearly limitless, but we're going to talk about your own ability. See, people think that, they take an action, they fail, sometimes they say, I'm not capable of doing this. And that's one way to look at it, but I'm going to tell you a different way that's more empowering, at least for me, that has always helped me push the envelope further and to create really the life of my dreams, every single time I go after a goal. And that's this, that, impossible literally spells I'm possible. Impossible literally spells I'm possible. There is nothing that's impossible. We just don't have the knowledge. We don't have the strategy. We don't have the decade of experience, or we haven't put in the work, or something is missing, and that's why we failed. Every time I fail, I always believe that I'm still capable of doing it. I just need to work harder. There's some crazy things. I mean, back in the day, people used to think that going to the moon was impossible. Some people still think we never made it there. Hard to argue that right now. But the thing is that you've got to realize that sometimes people have said, once you've stopped growing, you can't grow anymore. Yet they take people who have shortened limbs and they're able to crank them open and actually literally grow their body. We're able to take stem cells and create new organs. I mean, there's so much technology is changing. Artificial intelligence is literally self-driving cars. We're going to have self-driving planes soon. I mean, come on, guys. These are the things that are possible when you believe anything is possible. And if you believe that you can accomplish anything, then you can create anything. You can achieve anything, and you can achieve the success that you so rightfully deserve. But only if you follow the final step, step number 5. And this is what all these entrepreneurs do. I mean, I am amazed at how many successful people truly never give up. Never give up on their dreams. They are relentless. They will go after their dreams until they are bloody in the feet. They will never stop. And this comes from a lot of different things, guys. I really believe that sometimes people, there are two main driving forces. That's pain and pleasure. And you got to know why you want a goal. So we clearly define what the success is, but you got to know why you want it so that you've got the energy, the passion, and the excitement to never give up. Now that's pleasure usually, but also too, I've found that a lot of times knowing why not achieving that goal is going to negatively affect your life can hugely drive you. The pain of knowing that you could have done more with your life, the pain of knowing that you could have done better, the pain of knowing that, if you don't accomplish this, you're going to be miserable in 10 years, or, your life is going to be exactly where it is right now and you don't like that and you want to change it, so you've got to take action. These are things that I've found that can really create an instant fire to drive you to greatness. In fact, a lot of people who have been really successful, oftentimes you hear them say, I just had to prove them wrong. Whoever them was for them. Maybe it was a high school basketball coach. Maybe it was their parents. Maybe it was just their friends who kind of doubted them. And they're going to say, I'm going to prove them wrong. And so that's where the pain pleasure comes in. But whatever it is that drives you, use that energy as motivation to take action and never, ever give up. This reminds me of a story about a miner who was mining for gold. And you've probably heard this before, but if you haven't, this is an amazing story where basically this guy's mining for gold for 2 years. And after 2 years, he doesn't find any gold and he finally gives up. And about a year later, some other guy comes over and buys the land that this guy was mining on. Lo and behold, he keeps digging, and within a few feet of where that other guy had stopped digging, he finds a mountain of gold. And that just goes to show you guys, you never know how close you are to success if you give up. You could be there tomorrow sometimes, but if you give up, you'll never, ever know how truly close you were. Now, this is the thing. If you never give up, if you never quit, eventually you'll achieve your goal. It's like when babies are learning to walk. Have you ever seen a baby learn to walk? You know, they stand up, they fall. They stand up, they fall. They take a step, they fall. But everyone around them keeps on encouraging them. No matter how many times they fail, the parents keep supporting the baby. Because guess what? In the parents' mind, in their belief, no matter what, my child is going to walk. And despite, any physical impairment, the majority of people in this world learn to walk. What if every time you fell down, you simply got back up and tried again? And tried again, and tried again, 100 times, 1,000 times, 10,000 times until you were successful. Pretty amazing formula for success. Try again and again and again until you are successful. What is it that you want out of life? What area are you trying to master success in? What do you need to do? What do you need to try? What actions do you need to take? What can you believe inside yourself? How focused can you get? How much work are you putting in? What is it that is going to get you to be successful? Whatever area it is, remember these 5 steps. Number 1, define what success is for you. Number 2, get laser focused on your goals, even if that means sacrificing other parts of your life for a period of time. Number 3, work hard. Put those bricks in, brick by brick. Number 4, believe in yourself. Remember to listen to your inner voice and that nothing is ever truly impossible. And number 5, never give up because you never know how close you are to that gold mine. In the next week, I'd love it if you joined our email list and sent me an email to let me know exactly what you are working on. What area of success are you trying to improve? What is your biggest struggle? And what actions are you going to take? Until next time, take action and unleash success in you. If you guys enjoyed the show and learned something of value, the one ask that we have is please go subscribe. If you'd like to leave us a 5-star rating and review, that definitely helps us get our message out there. Because each week I'm going to interview amazing people and I want to be able to give you more and more tools and strategies that get you real results. Feel free to connect with me on Facebook or Instagram at Corey Corpodian or just visit the website at unleashsuccess.com. Remember, knowing is not enough. Knowledge alone is not power. Action is. Because action is the only way to get the results you want in life and truly live the life of your dreams. So go take some action, subscribe to the podcast, and get ready to unleash success in you.